It's time to focus on the things you need, the things you deserve. You deserve a healthy body, supplements that get you moving and keep you moving, that make you feel good, look good, do good. And they shouldn't contain GMOs, artificial ingredients, or heavy metals, ever. Supplements that are clinically studied, use proven absorption technologies, are designed by scientists, and are ethically sourced and produced. Supplements with everything you need, nothing you don't. You deserve a company that you can trust, that's dedicated to safe manufacturing practices and third-party testing, that ensures the highest quality of effectiveness from extraction of ingredients all the way to the composition of the packaging. Wait a second. You deserve to see the process. You deserve a company led by a CEO with a deep belief in the power of people, dedicated to inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve success. A company with a phytonutrient chemist and expert on natural molecules who is obsessed with human health and has your best interest in mind to design its products. A board comprised of talented doctors from around the world. You deserve to be surrounded by people you trust and look up to. Empowered ambassadors that inspire wellness every day. Leaders who are rooting for you to be the best version of yourself. A community that works hard and plays hard. You deserve to experience adventures that take you around the world, and you deserve to be recognized for your hard work. It's time to get what you deserve. It's time to shift your focus. 3.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Wellness Wednesday. This is Samson Li out here in Los Angeles, California. And today we have an amazing guest all the way in Houston, Texas, Dr. Linda McCormick. Say hi to everybody, Linda.
Hello, hello. I'm so glad to be here.
Well,
Excited.
we're very happy today. Today is actually Lunar New Year's for more than half the people in the world. So, a Happy New Year, everybody out there.
Happy New Year.
We wish everybody a lot of joy, success, and also abundance in 2025 in this lunar year. So today we're very fortunate to have Dr. Linda with us, and Dr. Linda McCormick. She comes from a very her CV is very, very big and deep. Her knowledge, her career spans more than 2 decades and around the world, dealing from patients to doctors to all health professionals, other scientists, big mega corporation, big pharmaceutical companies. Her last position was global vice president of her company. So maybe Linda, you can share with our new friends out there briefly your background.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, sure. So my background is in the pharmaceutical world, so a little bit different than the supplement world. And I did get my PhD in neuroscience and then moved into the pharmaceutical industry. And I've been really in drug development for most of that career. And so, my role was really kind of shepherding products through the FDA most recently. And so on a global level, I also worked with the other regulatory agencies across the world. So, it was a great career. Huge difference between that and the supplement industry. We were looking for sick people. We looked for a good market would be a market where there were plenty of sick people, or even a rare disease where you could capitalize on that and charge a lot of money for that drug that was beneficial in rare disease. So, every person had a dollar sign associated with them, right? So it wasn't about proactive health at all. That wasn't, really a good moneymaker, right? So, and we did a lot of market research to find the right disease for our drugs. that would make us money. So I'm just disclosing that and being very transparent about that.
Right.
But it was a good career because I learned a lot, and and I'm just so happy to have come over to three and just excited to kind of make that shift and to really feel like I'm doing just good for the world by focusing on proactive health and wellness. So I
Yeah.
do have a lot of publications. I'm published in, I don't know, lots of peer-reviewed journals, and the list is long, and I'm continuing, some of my publications are still coming through. So you can look me up that way. But I love being here. I love the people, and I'm really happy to be here tonight. It's always
Yeah.
fun doing a
You know,
discussion.
it's not often we have a published peer-reviewed scientists on here on Wellness Wednesdays. I mean, we have a lot of amazing, wonderful doctors, nurses, health practitioners, but rarely do we have a real scientist who's, I mean, not just scientists in the lab, but published. You know, that says a lot about who you are. And I'm glad that you are on the other side of the fence with us.
Yeah, you can see the other side. I know.
No, because right, I know you and you are somebody who's always very fit and very health conscious, and aside from what you do, obviously you, like you said, you learn a lot and you know a lot.
Yeah.
So it's today is a very unique opportunity. We've had you only a couple of times in the past two, less than 2 years on here to educate people really on on really the credibility of what three has.
Yeah.
So recently, me and you, we saw an article, which is very
Yeah.
interesting. It was from a consumer advocate website, and they actually go look at and test different products out there, or
Hmm.
supplements and drugs. And it's very interesting. When I look at it, when I looked at the article, they talk about many things and they had some good points. And those points, I think, is very important that we share with, the three community, because the supplement industry is really a wow, wow west, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not regulated like drugs, but you definitely are putting something into your body. And
Hmm.
it's funny today in the U.S. There was some hearing nominee confirmation from Human Health and Services, and they were going at it. At the end of the day, for us, not any politics or anything, we as consumers, we want to know what's going into our body. We want to know the real science, because science is not monolithic, obviously. That's why there's peer reviews published and back and forth, and even challenge over years. I've seen that. Even, for example, with resveratrol, until it become, 22 years later, it become more established and with the original claims, and it really does what it, what it was theorized to do.
Right.
So the science is never set until it's established, like over many, many, many years. So I still remember, for example, they said coffee is good for you, then coffee is not good for you. Coffee is good for you. So which one is it? I love
I
coffee,
know.
but which one
Right.
is it? Okay, now we know when we drink coffee, within 15 minutes, it can see our brain shrinking or something like that. It's like, oh, what? Okay, so anyway, but so this article made some very good points, and we're going to talk about today to help educate everybody, and especially with your expertise, your background, and what brings credibility and what is good and bad, etc. How the labels work, how it's formulated, what is credibility in the supplementation industry, right? So my first question is, in the article they talk about the ingredients, and like I was saying, it's important that we know what's in it. And the article actually said that a lot of supplements, they just put proprietary blend and they don't tell you what's in it. Now, when I went to pick up the Vitality box, or maybe the Eternal box, right? The label is very clear under the proprietary blend. It says different extracts and all that. So maybe you can explain to us really, first of all, what is a proprietary blend? And why, and why do people talk about hey, you got to be careful, so you know what's really in it, or maybe they don't disclose everything. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure, sure. And I love this kind of when we have these discussions because I love that, Samson's asking the questions that probably everybody out there is having when you look at the label, right? And some of us are like, oh yeah, we know that kind of, but some really are questioning like, what is this? What does it mean? And how do I tell when I look at the label if it's a good supplement, if it's reputable? Are they being transparent? And I can assure you that our label is a really transparent one, and it's one that you can be proud of. So, and this article talked about like, well, what is it? What do you look for? What are the red flags, that you look for? And when you look at the proprietary blends, we do tell you what's in it, and we tell you how much we have in it. Now we're not going to be exactly how much you have in it, right? Because a proprietary blend is actually your secret, your trade secret. So of course we're
Mm.
not going to, that's what proprietary means, right? So don't expect to see exactly how much of each ingredient is in the proprietary blend. We want to protect our trade secret, but we're going to tell you what's in the proprietary blend, but maybe not exactly how much of each ingredient, right? And maybe not just exactly how it's formulated, right? And that's okay because we do need to protect our trade secret. Um, and it's different from patents, right? So, and we like trade secrets and proprietary blends better than patents because with patents, you have to disclose exactly what compounds and molecules are in there and exactly how it's formulated, right? So this is a good thing that we have disclosed as much as we can in our proprietary blend in the label and without giving away our secret sauce, because this is our secret sauce, the proprietary blend piece. It's like the syrup in Coca-Cola. That's their secret, right? Or I don't know, the Kentucky Fried Chicken blend or whatever it is that's the secret. So this is our secret. So we're not going to give that away, but we do list it there nicely, right? Um,
It's funny
now,
because, like when you mentioned Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think our label is more transparent than Kentucky Fried Chicken. Um, the secret spices, right?
secret
But,
spices.
so my
Yeah,
question then would be like, I see under the proprietary blend, different plants, obviously phytonutrient,
right.
and
Hmm.
then the word extract.
Yes. Yeah, you do
What
see.
does that mean?
So the word extract, that means what it says. You're taking out, right? You're extracting. And this is what we know is the second pillar of our science, right? It's the curation part. So what do? We extract the molecules out of the plant that are the bioactive molecules that we want in our product. And so you can't shove the whole plant in the capsule. You have to extract out the molecules. And you've heard Dr. Dan talk about molecules. That's what he's in love with, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's all about those specific pieces or parts of the plant that we want in our product. So that's all it is. And in concentrated, right? You might even see concentrated. And so extracted, meaning we're curating just the molecules we want out of that plant. And then we are concentrating it so that we can put just as much as we can into the product, right? And we can get as much as we can in a smaller dose. So,
Mm. I have had questions before, for example, because we're building three right now. We're just startup. We're less than 2 years old, and we want to build this multi-billion-dollar a year company. And people already ask, oh, when we get that big, what if they run out of pineapple? What if they run? I don't know. What if they run out of resveratrol? What are we gonna do? What if they run out of a source? What are we gonna do? What do you say to that?
don't worry about that, Samson. No, we
Okay.
won't run out because when you extract molecules, molecules are really small. You can make a lot out of one single plant. And of course, continuing to make sure that the plants are cultivated, grown, and everything is also really important, right? So, but um, that's that's not a worry. But
People
it's a
do
good
ask.
question. Yeah.
No, but hey, it does come up, right?
You know,
Uh,
and there
yeah.
are, if that ever did happen, we would have to go back and find another plant or molecule that would do that same thing, right?
Mm,
That would mean going back to the
mm.
first phase of exploration. Yeah.
Wow. Well, we're lucky we have Dr. Dan, right?
I
So then I thought, like, because Dr. Dan always talk about new molecules, right?
know.
So
Right.
even if it says certain plant extract, it could be different molecules. It's extracted, but it's just not listed the particular molecule, right? And
Correct.
you were
That's right.
saying that if it was patented, then we have to disclose the actual molecule,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
But we
Right.
don't want to patent it like big pharma where they do a synthetic version. We want to keep using the natural one, right?
Absolutely. And that's you might see on the Vitalite, you'll see a glycoprotein matrix.
Oh,
And
yes.
that's a natural part that you won't see in a pharmaceutical product because the glycoprotein matrix is natural. So we feed yeast, for example, all these nutrients. It's kind of a long kind of story, but they produce minerals and vitamins, and it's on a membrane. And so this makes it's all about the absorption technology, right? But it's natural. So, and that's a huge advantage over synthetic supplements when you see that glycoprotein matrix there,
No,
because
I
it's a
think
natural way of, and it improves absorption and bioavailability of the product. Yeah.
okay. Well, I think the the matrix how does it hold on to the minerals and vitamins?
It is the minerals and the minerals and vitamins kind of form from they form a matrix. So that's what the yeast kind of secretes.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yeah,
I see.
it's
I
kind of
see.
it's
The
getting
yeast
down to the
secretes
nitty
it.
gritty and in the weeds on the molecular level. Yeah, but
Okay.
but it's
Okay.
interesting, right? It's funny because I know you've always been very into the science and you're so curious, and I know a lot of our folks are, and you'll get questions.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have the confidence that we have just really good, unique, awesome technology behind our products. So
Well, what I always try to do is use different analogy or some common sense examples. And
yeah,
like when we talk about natural and how it's grown, my thing is that I would figure that as human beings being on this earth for so many years, that's what we're used to. That our body is designed to absorb
exactly.
natural plants,
Right.
phytonutrients, right?
Exactly.
Not
Hmm.
synthetic ones, because our genetically, our DNA, I'm sure it's designed more, just like, all living things have DNA, right?
Yeah.
So our proteins in the DNA, which is all protein, they're more designed to interact and absorb natural
Right.
molecules rather
Yeah.
than
Your
synthetic ones.
body is used to seeing those glycoproteins. It's
Oh,
very used to seeing it. It's naturally occurring in the body.
is
So,
there a glycoprotein spotter? Just kidding. Okay. So then if our body's used to, would figure the efficacy of being able to use it in our body
yeah,
is natural. It's just science, right? It happens.
exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Uh, and that also leads to the absorption piece, right?
Yeah.
So many different absorption techniques. Now, another one is, it's interesting. The article talk about, and this makes a lot of sense, about medical claims that
Yeah.
companies, we have a lot of very passionate people out there, right?
We do.
And to be honest, look, everybody's DNA is similar, but just a little bit different, right? And so maybe and our body composition is different, right? And
Right.
even on a cellular level. So it might not work exactly the same on everybody because we're not robot, we're not clones, right? So what the article pointed out was if people make medical claims, maybe they're a little bit desperate trying to sell the product. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, this is what separates the FDA from the FDA approved drugs like the pharmaceuticals from the supplements. I mean, so in order to make a claim, you have to be approved by the FDA.
Mm.
Supplements are not approved by the FDA. They don't go through that rigor. But what they can claim, they don't have to show efficacy or safety to be on the market. Now, what is regulated by the FDA is the way it's made, the process, and the facilities. Those can be regulated by the FDA, and you can get FDA certifications on those. But you cannot make a medical claim if you're not approved by the FDA. That's what separates supplements from pharmaceuticals. And so for us, we never make medical claims. That's what we tell everybody. I mean, we're proactive wellness company. We don't cure, we don't treat, we don't diagnose with our products. And I know I get a lot of questions, and Dan does too, about my cousin has cancer or lupus or something, and which products should I use? And we really can't tell you which products to use. We can tell you what supports different functions in the body, but we really can't tell you that our products, which one or any would cure, treat, or diagnose anything. So be really careful with that. As well as I do, we can get in big trouble for that. And that's actually one way to know that a product, a supplement that if you're looking at their label and they do make a claim, that's a sure sign it's not a legitimate supplement. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a big deal,
yeah,
because a lot, yeah, some of them just go way overboard, right? And I think what you say is exactly right. And I always recommend, look, if people are concerned about their health, if they have some health issues,
yeah,
take the product, it's in the PDR, and show it as a doctor. Actually, as a matter of fact, like a good friend of mine who owns a restaurant, which I go buy breakfast all the time at, she had breast cancer. And then now she had a problem with her ovaries, uterus area, down there, and had some bleeding and all that, and but I mean, knock on wood, she overcame the cancer, so she's
yeah,
good. And then now she found out that she has a solution for her health issue. And I said, hey, it's time to get back into good health. So I just show her, I want to, as a friend, really as a friend, because
right.
I've known for 4 years now, so, since I moved into this area. So I actually gifted her a few products, and you know what she said? She said, yeah, she's gonna check with her doctor, make sure it doesn't conflict with her
Right.
medication.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I see a lot of brand ambassadors so passionate, but
Yeah.
consider
Yeah.
the other person, they're on something and you don't want them to conflict or etc. Like
Yeah.
for example, I'll just give one out there because there are people who take blood thinners, you know, and so some of the ingredients, I think like resveratrol, as a matter of fact, one of the thing is it helps thins the blood on just a natural level, but very little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's on the internet. I mean, people can look it up. So I always caution that if somebody's on medication, just check with the doctor, So the
Hmm.
doctor would have experience in general because that won't be the first time somebody asks him anyway. So that's
Yeah.
why I recommend, it's
Yeah.
mainly for
Exactly.
proactive wellness, like you said.
Proactive wellness. We have, our products are for everybody. They're not just, we don't have to run around and find sick people. I mean, it's great to give them to sick people, but anybody can take our products because it is proactive. And what we're trying to do is prevent, you know, keep our bodies in tip-top shape and prevent disease. So
Yeah. And so, for those of you out there, so how do we navigate this? Well, in your back office under tools, documents, and media, there's a compliance section where you can actually look at, what you want to say. Instead, if it's on the edge, the document will actually recommend a different way to say it. You see,
yeah, it's a
so
really
it's
good
not
resource.
acceptable for you because sometimes you just go too far and you're so pushy, right? Happened to be me for many years ago. Okay, so but we want to be a company with credibility, and that's why the company is so transparent in so many things.
Yeah,
Okay, whatever they can do, they can show, they will do without making any health claims, right? So
exactly.
Now, one of the big thing about credibility, if you're trying to establish it, I love it because I've never seen this before in the industry in 20 years, in my 20-year career, is that in the back office for all the supplements, there actually are dossiers that cites the ingredients and the clinical studies that relate to those ingredients that's in that product.
Right.
So I forgot,
Mhm.
was it the Eternal or Vitalite or one of those? I was looking through it. It's like more than 20 pages long. I'm like,
Yeah, probably
wow,
Vitalite, yeah.
yeah, and I always say because Dr. Dan, he's really a scientist at heart, of course, academic. He's been a professor before. He's done research and he's developed product. He wants to bring the credibility to the surface because he's so proud of what we have.
Yeah,
So that's a place I would go, and I will always say we print it out. It's like a little book.
it is.
It's
Yeah.
literally like a little handbook of what's in it. If people ask, well, what do you have to show? Well, just show them this. This is what it says. This is what it says, and you don't have to say too much.
So
So
true. I love
yeah,
those dossiers because they really speak to the ingredients. I mean, how do we know? So we use curcumin. This kind of shows us, yeah, we've picked the right product. We picked the right molecule, curcumin or zinc or selenium, whatever we have. You can look and see that, yeah, we're curating the right things. So, and all those good things are in our products. So it's
yeah.
a great resource. Yeah.
And so that leads to, my question, this question always comes up is, well, how good are the products? How reputable are the products? And then some people ask because they don't know what is the PDR.
Yeah.
Now, now since you came from the world that put many products into the PDR, can you tell us exactly why is that the best certification?
So especially in the supplement space, it's the best certification because, there's not that many products that are not that many supplements in the PDR, and there's no company that has all of their products in the PDR. And the PDR it used to be this big thick book that every physician had on their desk, and they could run back in between patients, look something up really quickly, and now it's digital, right? And so they're very familiar with it. I mean, this goes back, I don't know, many years, probably 50 years, maybe more than 50 years. It's been a trusted resource. And so having that certification for a supplement is huge. I mean, for drugs, you could get in maybe some other publications, maybe, there's some other things they might look at. But for supplements, this is 100% the best for the supplements to be in. So, and we really are one of the few, and we really do have a have a kind of a cornered the market on that. So, and you'll physicians are very familiar with it. So, and other healthcare providers, if you mention it, they'll know what you're talking about. So, and the right, you have to have data. You have to have clinical data. And so that's what we hang our hat on. And that's why I can put, my reputation, my name, I will stand toe to toe with anyone on these products because we have the data. And what would you look up if you didn't have the data? It's not just you look it up and you've got to see the background behind that product. And so, and we have it. And other companies just haven't spent the money, taken the time, don't want to. They don't want to be that transparent because they don't have the real deal. And and we do it, so that's why you can be super proud of all of our products being in the PDR.
Yeah, I mean, and of course, probably most of the products out there are white labeled, right? Somebody just slapped
Yeah,
the marketing label
yeah,
on it,
yeah. They're
right?
all the
So,
same.
but ours is a unique to three. So,
It is, yeah. And we really, we pride ourselves on using unique molecules. So molecules that have never been seen before, right? In some of our products. And we're really proud of the technology, like having a neurocosmetic, having epigenetic studies. There's no other supplement that has epigenetic studies, or even quorum sensing. Quorum sensing is very unique, and that's a very cool technology that nobody else is doing. So, and it's in a couple of our products, right? Um, so that's why we do believe in transparency and just trying to get the best out there for our folks, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, because like you said, the epigenetic study, I mean, the absorption study, I looked it up. Actually, I look up what the study is.
yeah,
It's actually is industry standard. That's
yeah,
a standard test that a big pharma uses, right?
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
they even submit that kind of test to the FDA. So that's a quality standardized test that to test
Yeah.
absorption, which we have, and
Yeah.
it's incredible. I don't know. No, I don't know. Can you absorb water 95%? I wonder because we end up peeing it out. But anyway, different story. But Eternal predict absorbability is 95%. That's incredible. You
It
know,
is. Yeah.
it's incredible. And
And we know it's true because we have the studies. And you're right, those studies are standard and used by pharma. And you can't just submit any study to the FDA. It's got to be validated. So it's a validated study. So that means that it's been tested over time with many different other compounds, and we know it's a good study and a good method of showing absorption, right? And that when you take the absorption, so you know that we have the dossiers which tell us that our ingredients are good, right? And they're really beneficial. And then you know those ingredients are absorbed, right? And then you take it that one step further that says, so what? So what it's absorbed? Is it really going to do what it's supposed to do in my body? Well, look at the epigenetics because the epigenetics takes it that one step further and says, yeah, we upregulate the good genes and downregulate or inhibit the bad genes, right? So, and so it's really taking that story from the beginning all the way to the end, you know? So,
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that study blew me away. And I know we had the conversation before
yeah,
about epigenetic studies and big pharma's trying to do it now, but
I
using
know.
obviously synthetic methods, right?
Mhm.
Synthetic molecules versus
Yeah,
well, we're just using natural one with absorption tech, and
yeah,
it just blew my mind, because
yeah,
the old paradigm of you're born with this your DNA and that's the way it is, but I guess it's not the way it is with epigenetics where you can actually that's how our body can is so heavily influenced by what we eat and our environment,
yeah.
and our lifestyle and stress, etc. So it's a wake-up call. We all need to treat ourselves better
Mhm.
because without health we have nothing. It's
Yeah,
really happened. And then I always say that, look, I mean, I'm in the sandwich generation, younger kids, older parents. And I always tell my sibling, no, just think about it, if you don't have health, you become a burden to other people. So we want to stay healthy. We want to be the best we can be. And so that's how we can benefit other people. And that's something we need to share, the idea of that,
right,
because and it goes back to, sorry to bring it up, but it relates in terms of wellness, the overall wellness, because in the US, for example, in the 50s, 60s, it was pretty much a one income family.
yeah,
And as inflation grew and things change, where the workforce came from was from women. So it became, women and men. So it became a double income, you know, so a lifestyle. And that started creating stress. And now, not only US, but around the world, so it's not even enough.
I know.
So
Never enough,
there's even
right?
more. But we still need to take care of ourselves.
Me too.
That's actually number one. That's actually number one. Yeah, that's a
Mhm.
real wealth. In Lunar New Year's, we wish everybody, success and abundance and happiness but you can't have that without health either. So,
No. And it's health,
so,
internal, like body health, mind health, and our spiritual health, right? So it's taking care of our whole selves.
yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do and spread.
I'm excited about 3 because when you talk about supplementation plus the skincare, the neurocosmetic,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, we are addressing not only the physical body, but our mental health in a
Yeah.
way, because it interacts with the brain, right? So
Hmm.
I'm very excited about that as, we keep moving in that direction. And I know, kind of Dr. Dan and Kim already spilled the bean. There's something else coming along in that line, which is very exciting.
Yes.
But we are fortunate, and on top of that, right now, well, I mean, I don't mean to promote, but there is that 15% discount for the Lunar New Year right now, happening right
Yeah.
now. So,
Oh,
for the
it's
March
amazing.
collection.
I just
Yeah,
love the skin. I just love it. And I think it's doing it. I think it's doing great. I mean, people have mentioned and commented on my skin and stuff. So, and it's funny because I just shared it with my twin sister. She's in 3 as well, and we were on a FaceTime together, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to get it. I have to get it." And because people compare us all the time, right? And she goes, "No, you can't. You look so good. I've got to get some too." So yeah, so she's getting some. I told her it's 15% off, so she's grabbing some now. Yeah.
yeah,
And no, I mean it's been an incredible ride, and we're only beginning really. So
yeah.
more to come, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, today, right now it concludes our session for today, on this Wellness Wednesday. And pretty much we shared some of the very basic foundational answers to questions that normal people have as we go out and share 3. And, we all thank you for your time and your contribution, Linda. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Samson. I appreciate it. I enjoy it, and I enjoy being on here with you. So have a great
Well,
evening.
yes, yes. We wish everybody a wonderful day. Happy New Year. Make the best of it. And looking forward to see you somewhere in the world. Okay. Bye-bye now, everybody. Take care. God bless.